Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today I'm going to be showing you my top 3 masking tips here after you've cut your material out. And it's really going to be probably an extra one in there as well that I'm going to show you guys too. So let's go ahead and jump into this. If you haven't seen my video on how to mask your material, whether it's wood or acrylic, check that video out next or before this one and come back to this one. But basically what you're going to need is a roll of masking tape. It looks something like this. If you don't have a roll, you can get them right off of Amazon. I have my affiliate links below if you want to help out the channel. Purchase from there. It also has all of the recommended items for your laser too that I recommend all in one section. So check that out. Let's go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to show you guys my favorite tips here after you actually have your material cut out. So for example, this is just an extra piece that I had from one of my penny games that I made. And it still has the masking on top. As you can see, the back has a little bit of char on it. I should have masked the back, but I didn't. But that's one tip that you can do is you can mask both sides to prevent this little like edge here. But the main tip here is removing the masking tape. So something like this would be pretty easy if you just kind of pick at it with your fingernail and then pull it off. But what I like to use is I like to use Gorilla duct tape. Specifically Gorilla duct tape. I'm sure there's other brands that work good too, but the standard duct tape brand, I'm not really a fan of. It doesn't stick as well. Now with this, what you want to do is you want to pull off just a little bit of it. You don't need a whole lot unless you're going to be covering like a large area. But right now, this is just to get it off. So just like a little tiny piece like this, and then you're going to stick it right on the corner, just like that. And I like to let it sit for just a few seconds. That way all that stickiness can kind of seep in there, especially on like, if you do this on like detailed photo engravings, that works really well if you just let it sit for a second. But all you got to do is lift, and then as you can see, it's pulling that masking tape right off of there. Just like that. Super easy. You don't have to use your fingernails or anything, get your fingers all dirty. And as you can see now, all we have is the center left. So that was my first tip. Use Gorilla duct tape here. It works really well. Next tip here is, as you can see, this is kind of a bonus tip that I was telling you about. As you can see, since we have the insides on still, let's say we wanted these little dice to pop to make it look like this was the maple that shows through, and then everything around it we would stain a darker color. So now that we have the masking tape still on the inside pieces here, you can go ahead and stain this, but you want to make sure your rag is dry with stain. So what I mean by that is use like a paper towel, kind of dab it off to the side and make it kind of dry, and then lightly go over it. That way it doesn't seep into the edges. I did do a video on that too, so if you want to see that, I think it's called overlay staining. Check out that video too. It works really well. And then once you're all said and done, we're going to move to step number 2, or tip number 2. That is these little plastic razor blades. So as you can see, I got a whole little unit here that holds it all in. If you want this file in particular to store your razor blades in, I have that on either freshstartcustoms.com, or you can find us on Etsy and the links below as well. But these are like little plastic razor blades. They work really well for like the smaller pieces. So these smaller pieces that are a little bit more delicate, they will work for with the duct tape as well. But these come in handy if you have like a lot of like small delicate score lines. I don't have that on this piece as an example. But basically all you got to do is use this, and then you just kind of work your way in. Now this does come with a blue tool. I don't have it with me today, but there is a blue tool that comes with a handle on this. I'll throw a picture up, and it works really well because you can get some leverage on there, and you just scrape it right across and it comes right off. But that's pretty much essentially what it is that blue tool gives you a lot of leverage, and it just scrapes it right off of there. So that's tip number 2. Get one of these with the blue tool handles. In those affiliate links, I believe it comes with 2 blue tool handles. I just have that in the shop outside. And then lastly, we're going to be talking about the big yellow squeegee. if you went and already watched that video that I told you about on how to mask the material, you'll want one of these big yellow squeegees. Doesn't have to be yellow, but what you want to do is you get one with these two ribs on it. And what I mean by that are these two little bumps right here. The reason why I say that is when you go to mask your material and you lay your masking out, so like let's say we lay this masking on our material like this, when you go to slide it like this on your material, that's gonna put pressure on your material, but it's not gonna hold your masking tape up as well. It's gonna start fraying like this right here. What you want to do is you want to use the ribs on this, and you want to just work your way back and forth just like that, where it's flat on these two ribs on the other side, and then that helps seat this material into your actual material, the masking tape, into the material itself, and then that way you don't have it peeling up on its own as the laser cuts out here. You may have seen that. That's how a lot of fires can start in machines if you don't pay attention to your machine. That can come up off of your material, and if you use these two little ribs on there, that will help lock it into place. So I'm gonna pull this up here, and that's pretty much it, you guys. These are my top 3 tips right here. And then, like I said, that bonus tip is the staining inlay, where you either use your stain on the outside or the inside, depending on which way you pull it out. I did an opposite in that other video, so check that out. I hope this helped you guys out. I'm gonna be doing some other cool tips and trick videos like this. These aren't even the best tips out there that I have. I've been saving one that's gonna be pretty much its own video. Other than that, we'll catch you guys in the next one.